Thriller of a game. Marcus, how do you sum that one up?
I think it's one the fans will definitely enjoy, but for us on the pitch it was a bit frustrating, and in both halves for us I think we started the first half very slow and played in their favour a lot, but we stayed in the game in the first half, and the second half we came out, we knew what we needed to do in our performance, and I think we did that, but then we conceded some sloppy goals and make it tough for ourselves again, but we dug in and got that equaliser which helped us towards the end of the game.
The start of the second half, first of all to get yourself back level, but then to score twice in those 7 minutes.
Yeah, I mean it was amazing for us on the pitch. You know, we knew well, every team knows when they go behind at half time, they have to come out the blocks very, very fast in the second, and that's exactly what we did, and we put ourselves in a great position to go on to do better in the game. But it's just unfortunate that we conceded such a sloppy goal, so something to reflect on.
But when you say you put yourself in such a good position as well, you put yourself in a good position to almost take the winner right at the very end.
Yeah, I know, we finished the game strong. I feel like if there was anyone else going to go and score in that game, it was going to be us, so we can take their positives towards the end, but we'll reflect on it and see what we can improve on.
I know that you're in this winless run, as they call it, but a lot of people have said the performances haven't matched the results. So what do you take from this one tonight going forward?
I think we take a lot of positives from this result. It's a very tough place to come with a team who's in form, and they're a lot different side to last season, and they've got a lot of quality within their team, but we know that we're starting to perform to what we were last season in the way we approach games and the way we handle our business on the pitch as well.
Well, for the last 2 seasons you scored 3. Tonight you've scored 4. And Marcus, you are player of the match as well. I haven't got enough hands really to give you this, but would you like to take it off me?
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Oh, and I'll do that.
Well, he's ended it smiling. It's only the second 4-4 at Old Trafford in Premier League history. But these two have ordered me to move quickly on from that game, Manchester United and Everton. Let's move into the start of the second half. He talked about their fast start. 38 seconds into the period, they were level.
Yeah, it's before many people probably got to the seats, really, and got settled for the second half, you know. And it was just, it was kind of so simple, really, you know. Going short from the goal kick to then go long, I think you can see Heaven steps into midfield, and that's a thing. A theme of United's build-up, really, and then that leaves Joao and Heaven on when they lose the ball, and the second ball, they're quite far apart, and Evan Nielsen just gets right in between them, and they kind of never recover from being so far apart from the goal kick to start with. Having said that, it's a fantastic pass, it's a great first touch, and it's a really good finish. So from Bournemouth's point of view, what a start to the second half, and it just... Well, the game was already light, but that even took it to another level right after half-time.
Certainly did. We just heard from Marcus Tavernier. It was his run, actually, initially here, Michael, before it was involved in 3-2.
It was very direct, powerful run, and not only that, but you know, once he got to the edge of the box, he sort of had the awareness: should I pass it? Felt a little touch, went down, and then this is just a well-executed free kick. However, I would more lean towards the poor defending from Manchester United. Look at Bruno there telling his goalkeeper, get across, get across. We've already got this side of the goal locked off. This is the side of the goal you need to protect. Now, we question whether there should be a gap there, Michael, because that just gives you a target to hit. But still, the goalkeeper's got to protect that side.
It's almost too straightforward, wasn't it? You give him a pathway there to pass it through. You're either blocking it off, Bruno and Cunha's either blocking it off together, or the goalkeeper's got to cover that side, and in the end none of them did that, and they passed it.
If they were together, you could sort of justify him being more central, couldn't you? Yeah. But once they split and give them a channel to hit the ball, but he's got to get across. He has to get across.
Invited through.
Yeah, I mean, and see, the funny thing is, Bruno, we'll go and see in a moment, Bruno takes a free, and he does exactly the same. He goes to goalkeeper's side, and that's what everybody's doing more and more now because of what's the player that lies under the wall called again? Draft excluder.
Draft excluder.
Right, because of the invention of the draft excluder, everyone can jump, so you get so much more height now. It's virtually impossible to go that side, so everybody's going keeper's side nowadays. Now, at least Bruno hit it right into the top corner. I mean, it was so hard to, but that should have been saved, I feel.
First team in top-flight history to score 3 or more goals in 3 successive seasons at Old Trafford. Quite extraordinary for Bournemouth. They were then pegged back, as Michael says, by a brilliant free kick. But before we see it, what about the awarding of it against Adam Smith, who was very frustrated at the time?
Yeah, I totally get it. I mean, you're looking at it, it's when you see it again, it's pretty clearly it's not a deliberate, it's not an obvious handball, it's not come off his hand to start with, it's more shoulder kind of onto the face, if anything. But if I was him, I'd be bitterly disappointed with that. I mean, the referees ended up giving it. You can't do anything about it by that point, and it was a crucial decision in the end. And Bruno's eyes lit up with that to have it. That's kind of his distance, perfect distance, if you like. The goalkeeper taking a small step to his right to think about Bruno going over the wall, and as we've already said, more and more are going to the goalkeeper's side to start with. I mean, he's put it right. It's coming in off the underside of the bar. Bruno couldn't have struck it any better. It's an unbelievable. He's done it many times before. It's what he does so well. But even without the goalkeeper's small step to the right, it's taking him out of the game.
You love that free kick.
Oh, wow. Pace, dip. I mean, everything. That was a fabulous free kick, but it should never have been one. As you say, it should never have been. I mean, a foot away from him, even if it hits him down here, when you kick it into someone when you're only that far away, then it's very harsh. And his arms weren't flailing, and it was probably too high anyway. It was a really poor decision. But little things make so much difference. Like, people don't want to see people exaggerating a fall or claiming a free kick when it. If Bruno Fernandes doesn't really go mad when that ball hits him, he never gets a foul. That's the referee thing. Oh, I didn't see that properly. I'll give it because of the reaction of players.
It's human reaction.
It's human reaction. And, these little things make a massive... If Bruno doesn't do that, if he's not sort of living on the edge and being a little bit naughty and whatever, then, they don't get that. They don't score that goal. So these little... I was going to say dark arts, but it's a bit strong. But he was streetwise, let's say, in winning that free kick.
129 seconds later, they scored again. As you said, a little bit of luck defensively, but Cunha with a lovely finish.
Yeah, he took it well. Something he's obviously been after, and he wants a little bit more of scoring the goals. And I mean, there's a little bit of movement. Cunha makes a run through the middle, and Bournemouth does very well. Šeško down the left-hand side sees probably Ahmad at the back post. Really, he's trying to pick him out. I mean, yeah, if again Bournemouth really to be in a position, then you've got to deal with that. It goes with left foot outside the left foot. Really, it's a right-footed clearance because you can't really get any power on the clearance with your left foot, but Cunha's there again, middle of goal. We've said that about his movement, and ended up in there for the first goal, missed it. Ahmad scores, and he gets his goal then, finishes off with a little dance.
Well, they led for just 5 minutes. It was that type of night, Michael.
It was, and you know what? If the game had continued going, it was Bournemouth that were getting the better chances in the last few minutes. That's a lovely finish. I'm not sure how much he knew about the pass. I think it was almost a bit of a deflection or a bit of a...
Ahmad actually does pretty well to recover.
He gets back. He sort of knocks it onto his foot, doesn't he? He knocks it onto Ahmad's foot, and it just goes perfectly in the path of Krupi. And lovely touch, takes it away from danger, away from the defender.
Disappointed though, because that's a similar one to the first, the one right after half time, where it's passed through the middle of the centre halves, and you want to be a little bit tighter there. It almost was a little bit too much space.
That is the goal that secured Bournemouth a point at 4-4. Here's their manager, Andoni Iraola.
Andoni, you were playing down your chances pre-match tonight. Could you make sense of what's just happened out there?
No, difficult to explain. No, I think, I suppose for the neutrals has been a nice game. We've had everything. Moments where you think, okay, we're going to lose. Moments where you think, okay, we have this one and we are comfortable. But even at the end, I think we've had in the last minutes the two clearest chances, from Brooksy both, and I was like, maybe we win this one. But it's just a point. It's not a lot in the standings, but I think we can take good and bad things from today.
What do you take from it then?
I think we are two teams that are we play quite aggressively, we're quite open, and probably today we've attacked much better than we've defended. I think the second goal is a cheap goal for us to concede. Just before half-time, the corner is not even a great header, and it's probably the goal where we can correct a lot of things. but also there are very good things because we've been dangerous and I think we had good phases on the ball. So a little bit of everything, yes.
They certainly did keep going. They got the 4-4, and as you say, right at the death, it was the visitors who had the opportunities potentially for 5-4.
Yeah, the game was just never over, was it? The way it was so topsy-turvy. You thought there could be a winner here, and the big chance came for Bournemouth. It was Brooks with a diving header. Lemons did really well to stick out a leg there. Again, heading it down the middle instead of trying to find a corner. But he was on the stretch. I don't say it's a huge miss, but it was a chance. And then again, this chance, I mean, he could have palmed that into a dangerous area, but Brooks with a couple of chances in the last minute or two.
So overall then, 43 Premier League games in the room, Amorim, just 6 clean sheets, 1 this season. They've conceded 68 goals. In fact, since he was appointed, only 3 teams have conceded more. So whilst you two are making the point, attacking-wise, lots of positives and more than shoots of recovery, that is an issue, quite clearly, that he still hasn't sorted out.
Yeah, it's an issue, and it's kind of what direction do you go, I suppose, as a coach, and do you shore it up? I mean, we spoke before the game about releasing Bruno that a little bit higher, and he's not playing with 2 holding midfielders, so is that leaving them a little bit more exposed through the middle of the pitch, like maybe like the first goal after half time when it drops down and Bruno's out the game and Casemiro's there on his own. But it's that conundrum of they look so good going forward. I do think personnel at the back will help them. That they're missing Maguire, they're missing De Ligt, they're missing big imposing centre half. So I do think that will have an impact now that they look more dangerous. I think with a big figure at the back that coming into a team that's dangerous, I think it'll be easier for them to fit. I mean, for half an hour or so, they looked fantastic at the start of the game, and they defended really well. Bournemouth had 1 header. So there's the balance is getting there, but then all of a sudden you kind of go bum, bum, bum and concede 4 goals and you feel like you're back to square one.
You feel you can't have it both ways, can you? Because they've improved that dramatically in scoring. Only City now have scored more goals this season than Manchester United.
Well, exactly, yeah. Everybody aims to have it both ways, obviously to hardly concede and to be scoring plenty of goals. But in general, you look at even the best team, you look at Arsenal, they're not massively free-flowing in terms of scoring loads and loads and loads of goals. Their defence is probably where they're strongest. But for Manchester United, if you watch them for the last 10 years, I mean, it's been so drab, it's been so bad. And to watch them attacking like that again is a breath of fresh air, I feel.
Here's the man with the conundrum, with the plan, Ruben Amorim.
Ruben, I just wonder how you unpack what we've just seen here at Old Trafford tonight.
I think it was a fun game for everyone at home. I think we started really well. We did a very good first half. The result should be completely different. And then, again, I think 6 minutes of the second half, similar to Nottingham. We lost the concentration. And they scored 2 goals. But we managed to get back to the game. We scored 2 goals again. And then we have to finish the game. Just a throw in our possession. We need to to think about not to go again, but to take calm and to close the game. But in the end, it was a fun game.
Yeah, 6th and not 5th at the end. I mean, he's talking about concentration. Is it sometimes just a little bit of game management, a bit of know-how in that situation?
I think, Steve, they've gone down the direction of suddenly becoming really dangerous going forward, and there's the excitement about it. I mean, I was watching it, I was getting excited. The players must feel that. The supporters, you could tell, feel that. So that's something that they need to then deal with emotionally. And when's the time to take that risk? When's the time to make that forward run? When's the time to actually, like the first goal, Semenyo's goal, and Luke gets pulled across, so thinking about playing forward and gets caught high, and then Semenyo's got that space to run into, and it's getting the balance, and they kind of got to learn, because they've probably not been that expansive, they've not been that fluid with the movements over a period of time. So the next step for them is, brilliant, do that and get ahead in the game, but you've got to manage the game as well, and picking their moments is the next step for them.
Thank you very much. So much to talk about. We've run out of time. Michaels, thank you very much indeed. Ruben Amorim, like Michael Carrick in management, yet to go grey, which is the good news after that 4-4 at Old Trafford. From the 3 of us, see you soon.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're getting into one of the wildest games of the season, that jaw-dropping 4-4 draw between Manchester United and Bournemouth. I mean, statistically, this was a huge anomaly. It's only the second 4-4 in Premier League history at Old Trafford.
Right, and our mission here really is to unpack how this perfect storm happened. You had this attacking brilliance from United just smashing head-on into total defensive chaos.
Total chaos is the right word.
And you can tell from the reactions. We know United were frustrated. Their manager, Ruben Amorim, said they conceded sloppy goals even though they scored, 38 seconds into the second half?
Exactly. And on the other side, Bournemouth's manager, Andoni Iraola, he just said it was difficult to explain.
He did. He said they thought they had the win multiple times, and they even had the two best chances to win it right at the end. Brooks's misses.
Which just shows you how neither manager felt they had any control over the game.
So what's fascinating here is the big statistical trade-off that really defines United at the moment. They are, a breath of fresh air going forward. Only Manchester City have actually scored more goals this season.
And this is the massive conundrum, that freedom comes at a huge defensive price. I mean, the numbers are just damning. They've conceded 68 goals, only 6 clean sheets in 43 games. That's not sustainable.
It's a failure of solidarity, really. And that defensive exposure is exactly why Bournemouth achieved something historic here. They became the first team in top-flight history to score 3 or more goals in 3 straight seasons at Old Trafford.
You just don't get a record like that without finding some major gaps.
So let's talk about those gaps. Look at United conceding so fast in the second half. It came from a simple goal kick, a short one that goes long.
It looked way too easy.
Because it was. The analysis showed a complete failure to track back. The two central defenders were they were positioned too far apart. So the space was there for Evan Nielsen to just run right into. It's a basic positioning error, really.
An error a top Premier League side just shouldn't be making.
Precisely. Or take Bournemouth's third goal, the one to make it 3-2 from the free kick.
Yeah, what happened there?
Again, not complicated tactics. It was just a breakdown of basic structure. Our sources show the keeper wasn't protecting the near post properly. He left a clear path for the shot right through the wall.
Okay, but this is where it gets really interesting. Connecting the performance to the psychological side of the game. That controversial free kick for United's 3-3 equalizer.
Yes. The foul on Adam Smith.
It was so borderline. It looked like it hit his shoulder. Maybe his face, not his hand.
And this is the street smarts element. The analysis really suggests that his exaggerated reaction is what won the foul. It's that performative side of the game, the dark arts, you could say. It convinces the ref.
And the technical detail of the goal is fascinating, too. We have to talk about the player lying behind the wall, the draft excluder. Why does that actually change the kick so much?
That's an excellent question. So the player on the ground, he blocks the low shot, the one drilled under the wall as it jumps. So it forces the taker to go high, over the wall. And that often means aiming towards the keeper side of the goal, but just high enough that he can't reach it, which is exactly what Bruno did. Perfectly.
So, after all this chaos, what does it all mean for the manager, Ruben Amorim? What was his takeaway?
He pretty much summed it up. He said the team lacks concentration and, crucially, game management. He wants calm.
Better decision-making.
Exactly. Knowing when to take those risks versus when to just, slow the game down, kill the clock, and see it out.
Which leaves us with a core conundrum, doesn't it? Can a team be this expansive and exciting to watch without just completely sacrificing their defensive solidity?
The analysis says they have to learn to start picking their moments. They can't just be all-out attack all the time.
So here's the thought for you to take away. We know the best teams manage to have it both ways, a brilliant attack and a rock-solid defense. So is this period of high-risk, wide-open football just a necessary, painful step in their evolution? Or is this an inherent flaw in the strategy that's just always going to hold them back?